Georgia open records, they're a great thing, aren't they? So y'all follow all open records laws and in the state of Georgia, everything? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm gonna pay the $64, but that is a huge violation of the law. Y'all are violating the law here. The Georgia open records law states that. You sure you want to do this, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to violate the open records laws then. That kind of violates the open records law for the state of Georgia.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Yes. Yes, you are.
You don't want to get physical with me. I'll take you down.
I'm not going to get physical.
I'll sweep your leg. I'll sweep your leg.
It's fake. It's a fake criminal record. Fake. It's all fake. Everything about me is fake.
Show me your driver's license. You have one?
Is that a requirement?
You have a driver's license.
Are you ordering me to do a thing?
Sir, I have a complaint to turn in. You are impeding the complaint process. You're violating multiple of my civil rights.
Welcome to the Dummy Kruger channel, everyone. Today's video is coming out of Meriwether County, Georgia, where we are once again taking a look at Georgia Transparency. Georgia Transparency is the gentleman that was recently convicted on a loitering charge while performing his duties as a private investigator. During his trial, he continually argued against a charge, trespassing, that he was never even charged with. See that video in the description below. Now, before we get into this video, I need everyone watching to do me a favor. Please grab your nearest pillow, hold it up to your face, and scream as loud as you can. This can be a very good way to reduce your stress levels, as well as being quite a cathartic exercise. I ask this of you because if you don't, there's a strong likelihood that you may decide to pull your hair out instead throughout this video. Rest assured though, I'm going to be doing my best to correct all the disinformation our First Amendment auditor tries to relay during his encounter with the clerk in the commissioner's office. Let's just jump right in.
Dang, that's loud.
Alright, what the hell was up with that doorbell? Meriwether County, I'm speaking to you. I'm on your side in this video, but please consider replacing that thing.
Georgia open records, they're a great thing, aren't they? So y'all follow all open records laws and in the state of Georgia, everything? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
And the cost of this is $64.54.
64?
54.
Okay.
Did you get my email? I responded back to you?
I got the response to process it, but I never got an approval.
Yeah, okay.
To approve that for $25,
Okay.
anything over that. So,
Okay.
so should I only have to pay $25 since
Yes,
I didn't
sir.
approve it?
No, you can just, you didn't approve it, but usually if you don't approve it, you wouldn't get it anyway. Because it does cost over $25. We have to have your approval if you want us to spend over that.
Over $25?
Yes, sir.
I never gave you my approval to spend over $25
And that's
though.
fine, that's fine.
The simple solution to this conflict is, of course, if you don't want to pay for the records, you simply don't receive those records, pre-approval or not. However, the law lays it out there for us, so we will be able to look a little deeper. Before we go over what the law actually says, let's watch Georgia Transparency dig himself a little deeper first.
But if you do want the record, it would be $64.54.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't you
And
just...
that was the cost of that's the cost to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't approve over $25.
No, you did not.
I did not, but you charged me anyways for it.
No, you're not going to be charged, but if you want the record, it's $64.54.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
That kind of violates the open records law for the state of Georgia.
How is that?
If it's less than $25, then you can go ahead and process it and charge me. But if it's an amount over $25, I have to approve it for you to process it. I didn't approve it, and
for me to get it for you.
You just stated that y'all follow all Georgia open records laws.
Yes, sir, we do. That's
and then I should only be paying $25 this
you
morning.
You would pay $25 and under $25 if that's what the cost of the record is. But the cost of doing the record was more than that.
But I never approved any more than $25.
You don't have to approve it. You don't have to. You don't have to get the record. If you want something over that, you would.
Well, if you sent me an invoice or an amount that said it's going to cost $64, and then at that point I could say no, or I could say yes, I'll pay that. I never got that. All I got was it's going to cost $64, and then in what I submitted It states perfectly in there, and it states that portion of the law of Georgia, if it's going to cost more than 25,
To let you
I
know.
need to authorize. I never authorized that.
Okay,
though.
and that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's fine.
so I can only pay $25.
Okay, I've had just about enough of that. Let's take a look at what the law actually says, shall we? So his whole contention is that he didn't give approval for the charge of his records request that exceeded $25. But per the law, an approval or agreement isn't always necessary even if the cost does exceed $25. It reads, in any instance in which an agency will seek costs in excess of $25 for responding to a request, the agency shall notify the requester within a reasonable amount of time not to exceed 3 business days and inform the requester of the estimate of the costs. And the agency may defer search and retrieval of the records until the requester agrees to pay the estimated costs, unless the requester has stated in his or her request a willingness to pay an amount that exceeds the search and retrieval costs. This part here is very pertinent. May defer search and retrieval of the records until the requester agrees to pay the estimated costs. This gives the entity a lawful reason not to pull the records into an agreement, or they have the option to simply go ahead and fulfill this request. Georgia Transparency doesn't seem to grasp this very simple part. Okay, let's focus on this part now. The agency shall notify the requester within a reasonable amount of time not to exceed 3 business days and inform the requester of the estimate of the costs. Now, this was done in accordance with the law because she sent him an email letting him know that the cost for the open records request is $64.54. So by all accounts, they have followed the letter of the law to a T here. Georgia Transparency shows it to us in his video. So I commented on this video in his comments section, actually trying to help Georgia Transparency out. I wrote, I'm not sure I'm following correctly. I'll start by adding I hate the fluctuation in prices with open records requests. I find they can sometimes be unreasonable. And it's true, I do. But I don't see how they are not abiding by the law here. If you don't approve the cost, you simply don't get the records. That doesn't mean she cannot go ahead and produce those records without approval. The law clearly gives her the option with may defer, ... She didn't defer and created the records for you. Now you have the option to approve the $25 or not. It's really as simple as that. And he follows up with, I don't understand what you're saying. Now, I really don't think it was very confusing, but I did follow up with him. I said, apologies, I'm on my phone. Basically, the law is stating the agency doesn't have to produce the records until you agree to the price that exceeds $25. It doesn't mean the agency isn't allowed to produce said records without an agreement. It's legally giving them more time, outside of the set limits, to defer if there isn't an agreement. And after all that, I didn't get a response. Let's go back to the video.
Not for the record, you cannot. What I would do is if I would tell you it costs $60-something. For the record, you would let me know, yes, I want the record, or no, I don't want the record.
Huh.
Yeah.
But the email I got from you was your records are ready for pickup. It's going to cost $64 and some change.
If you're interested in
So you-
obtaining those at $64.
Okay, so it's y'all's practice to go ahead and process open records over $25 and hope that the person pays or not? Because if I said, nah, never mind, it's too much, then you would have processed that for no reason.
Well, sometimes you don't know how much it's going to cost, Mr. Pickering, until you actually get in there and start doing the record. You don't know it's going to be over $25.
Boom. Roasted.
But you don't have to get the record if you don't want it.
Now I'm going to pay the $64, but that is a huge violation of the law. Y'all are violating the law here.
Well,
I should only be paying $25.
You would, no, sir. I think you're misinterpreting that, Mr. Pickering.
Hell yeah, Beverly, go get him. Even with him massively misinterpreting this law, like Beverly said, I'm still not sure how he interprets the cost to only be $25 without an agreement. It really takes quite a leap to read this law and think, well, if I just don't agree to pay that much, it should only be $25. No, Mr. Pickron, if you don't agree to pay that price, no records for you.
Nothing for you.
All right, so let me just interject here really quick about this open records law for Georgia, according to the code section here. No later than 3 business days after the records have been retrieved in any instance in which an agency will seek costs in excess of $25 for responding to a request, the agency shall notify the requester within a reasonable amount of time not to exceed 3 business days and inform the requester of the estimate of the cost. And the agency may defer search and retrieval until the requester agrees to pay the estimated costs, unless the requester has stated in his or her request a willingness to pay in the amount that exceeds the search and retrieval costs.
Did you guys catch that little pause? Here, listen one more time after he reads may defer.
And inform the requester of the estimate of the cost. And the agency may defer search and retrieval until the requester agrees.
Now, it was a short pause, but I believe it may just have hit him right there. But instead of either contemplating it a little bit more or rereading that relevant section, he says, screw it. I'm already in this deep. Might as well keep pushing.
I don't think so, ma'am. I never approved. I never. Do you have a copy of my open record that I sent?
I sure do. I have a copy.
Okay. If you look at the bottom of it, it does state that that I need to authorize anything over $25. And since I did not,
you asked for a waiver of fees.
Yep.
And if the cost exceeds $25, you would like to request a waiver of fees.
Yes.
And it does cost more than that.
Yes.
And I can't waive the fees on that. I'm sorry.
I know nobody can. It's really weird about how nobody can waive the fees.
This part about waiving the fees was a major cell phone that I'm not quite sure he realizes it. So who and why may someone be eligible for a waiver of fees? It reads the following. Are there fee waivers for media requests or those made in the public interest? Georgia law does not prohibit waiver of search and copying fees. If one can prove they are acting in public interest, then there's a good chance Georgia will waive the fee if it is a reasonable cost. So it seems to me that Georgia has deemed Georgia Transparency not to be media and not to be of public interest.
Yeah.
And so it's the Georgia Open Records law states that. You sure you want to do this, ma'am? You sure you want to do this?
Let me do this.
That sounds awfully threatening. Why are you treating her this way?
Okay.
Let me talk to the attorney and let me ask him to make sure I'm doing everything correctly.
Okay.
If you'll give me just a
Yes,
second,
of course.
I don't know if I can get him on the phone. Give me just a minute. I'll go give him a call.
Perfectly. I'm just trying to give you every opportunity
And
to.
let me make sure I've got it clear with you also. What you're telling me is that you feel that you should have the record for $25, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you didn't authorize it to be over $25,
Yes, ma'am.
correct? All right, hold on
Yes,
one
ma'am.
second.
Okay, come on. Come on, we got to go. We've got to roll.
Don't you dare push that bell again. Oh, come on. What the
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to try to track it down. According to the attorney, it is this charge that's on here.
Okay, so we're going to violate the open records laws then. Perfect. Oh, we are.
No, I'm just saying, you said that. I didn't say that.
I never approved $60-something, ma'am.
But you don't have to receive the record either if you don't want it. Do you not want the record, Mr. Pickering?
No, I do want the record. That's why I sent it in, but I wish I would have been told ahead of time.
I did get in my response to on the email yesterday. I gave you the amount on
The invoice,
Did you see that?
Yeah, but I never approved it, though.
But you don't have to get the record if you don't want it,
So,
since you didn't approve.
okay, so we're going to, there you go, there's 60, was it 64?
64.54.
60, there's 65.
Okay, so we're going to do petty cash, so he's trying to
That's
make
perfectly
change. There's
fine.
your change.
All righty.
And then here, I made a copy of this just so you would have it. This was my response to you. Did you get this right here yesterday? It showed it went through.
Yeah, I got this. Yeah, this is the one that I got. That said that the open record request is 6454. So I sent the request in, and I got a confirmation that you received it, and then I got this was the next thing. I never got a bill for me to approve anything over $25. That's in the.
And if you wanted to get it, you would have to approve it. But sometimes in trying to pull the information, you don't think it's that much, but once you start pulling it, sometimes it's a little bit more.
Okay.
Is that what you need right there?
Yes, ma'am. I don't understand why. I mean, you made the statement that y'all adhere to all OCGA.
To my knowledge, we do. Now, I did call the attorney, our county attorney. I didn't personally talk to him. Someone else did, and they did say that was true. So.
Okay.
I wanted to confirm that.
I will.
We certainly don't want to be in violation of anything like that.
Y'all are though with this. Y'all are. I never approved anything over 25. Because if I said no, I'm not going to pay that, then you just don't do the records. I don't get them. You don't work on them. Now, if it was $20, then yes.
Right.
If I wanted it, I got to pay the 20.
Right.
Anything over $25 has got to be authorized.
Yeah. It'd be authorized for you to receive it, but you don't have to receive the record if you didn't want to receive the record.
Okay. All right, Miss Beverly.
There we go, Beverly. Really well done. Have a kudos from me. But the fun doesn't necessarily stop here. When our First Amendment auditor gets home, he has some more grievances about the bill that need to be corrected.
When I got home, I looked more closely at the invoice, and I was a little more disgusted about the invoice here.
Oh boy, here we go.
So then why was I charged 3 separate hourly fees when the open records law states that it's not to exceed the prorated hourly salary of the lowest paid full-time employee?
Nope. Okay, I'll give you partial credit, but why did you stop reading there? It continues, in the reasonable discretion of the custodian of the records has the necessary skill and training to perform the request.
So I've got charged at the rate of $19, $28, and $33. So getting this entire open record, shouldn't I have been charged only the $19 per hour that it takes to do this?
No.
It does appear that the citizens of Meriwether County could very well possibly be getting manipulated when they request open records. So pay attention to your invoice and make sure that you're being charged the correct amount. So I should have only been charged the $19 per hour.
So this comes directly from the governor of Georgia's website. Now, we don't know exactly what types of records he is seeking, so it's purely speculative on what took place. So taking a look at his invoice, maybe the $19 an hour was Beverly, and the $28.58 an hour was some sort of managerial position that had the required training and skill necessary to perform the task. And the $33.02 for 15 minutes could have been the lawyer reviewing the docs before they were released. This is normal procedure for records requests. Here's an example of charges for FOIA requests from a federal agency. So if the records request can be handled by clerical staff, it's $27 per hour. If it's by professional staff, it's $48 an hour, and if it goes all the way up to managerial staff, it can be up to $69 per hour for these records requests. Okay, after saying all that, I'd like to issue a challenge to Georgia Transparency. Take another quick listen to the most egregious things that you said to Beverly during this encounter.
That kind of violates the open records law for the state of Georgia. You just stated that y'all follow all Georgia open records laws.
Yes, sir, we do.
Now I'm going to pay the $64, but that is a huge violation of the law. Y'all are violating the law here. The Georgia open records law states that. You sure you want to do this, ma'am?
I tell
You
what
sure
we'll do.
you want to do this?
Let me do this. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to violate the open records laws then.
Will you consider that maybe you interpreted the law and the fees incorrectly? If you don't, that's certainly your prerogative. But if you do, and I believe I succinctly laid it out here, will you consider emailing or calling Beverly at the clerk's office and apologizing? On multiple occasions, you claim that she broke the Georgia Open Records Act, which is a misdemeanor that's punishable up to a $500 fine. We all make mistakes. Not necessarily ones accusing others of crimes, but we do make them. I know I certainly do all the time. I believe an apology could go a long way in terms of your activism, and maybe, just maybe, you could use this as a learning opportunity. Okay guys, I think we'll wrap it up here. I want to thank each and every one of you for checking out today's video. Please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting below for similar content. This is Dummy Kruger, and I'll catch you on the next one.